Hi, welcome to Magoo's Corner. I'm your host Trevor Greig. We will now go through the Division 2 reserves for round 3. So we'll go through the results from last week and then also look towards round 4. So this is an opportunity for those guys in the reserves to get their name up in lights and get some recognition for their hard work on a Saturday and put some pressure on the A-grade guys so they can secure a spot. So first game of the round, we had St Peter's versus Scotch Old Collegians. We had St Peter's 4-8-32 to 5-14-44 for Scotch. So a bit of an accurate kicking from Scotch, but they seem to have got the job done. So the goal scorers for Scotch, we had Rowe with 2, and then we had a few single goal scorers there to pitch in. Best players were Collett, Campbell and Koufis there. So well done, boys. St Peter's, we had Hayward with 2, Scott and Davies all chipping in with 1 apiece. Best players were Colley, Hayward and Fort. So a bit of a close game for St Peter's, but unfortunately just not getting the job done. So we called last week that I think the Scotchies would get up there, so that was a good one for us in our tipping results. But it will be a different story, I think, for next week for Scotch, and hopefully they can get the job done there, but well done to those lads. The second game for this week, we had Jeps Cross taking on Prince Alfred Old Collegians. Now this was completely one-sided. Unfortunately for Jeps Cross, they've had some guys leave through their ones and also with the 2. So I think they're struggling a little bit with depth, is what I've been hearing. But hopefully they can get up and about and be competitive for the rest of the year. But Prince Alfred 21-12, 138 to Jeps Cross 1-4-10. So they had a big array of goal scorers for Prince Alfred, which is good to see, so they're not relying on one source. So we had Prest with 4, Morell with 3, Holmes and a couple of others with 2 apiece. Best players was Holmes, Hanneman, Ramsey, Gurford and Artis. Jeps Cross, the one bloke that put his hand up, which was N. Smith, and best players were Bryce, Siebert and Howe. So unfortunately for Jeps Cross, it wasn't a very happy day, but good for Prince Alfred, and also just keeping a little bit of pressure on for the rest of the competition, because I think Prince Alfred will be pretty strong this year. Okay, so the next one we had out at Kingswood Oval, we had Unley Mercedes Jets versus Modbury. So the Hawks unfortunately going down to Unley 12-17-89 to 5-11-41. So again, another game where the inaccuracy at the 2 big posts has been in question. Ineson with 3, Canal with 2 and Keane with 2 for Unley. Best players Fogarty, Canal and Wynchen, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but Modbury, Gordon with 2, Fish with 2, and McCormack Smith pitching in with 1. Best players were Cleary, Hewson, Coleman, and not a surprising result for me. Unley are going to be extremely competitive in their reserves comp. Got a lot of depth. You also have putting in the extra team in for this year. It just goes to show the type of players and how many that they've got out there and the club that it is. So nice work there by Unley. We've got the second game here, which the next game obviously Gazer versus Smosh West Lakes out at Clemsig Oval. Gazer 11-9-75 to Smosh 8-5-53. So good day out for Gerardus with 9, Bowie and Chris Nichols with getting in, but unfortunately Chris not able to back up the claims that he's been putting on Facebook and what he's been telling me that he is the best player out at Gazer, and unfortunately only kicking 1 goal, which is probably not up to the standard where he needs to be in Div 2. Gerardus, Schubert and Vivian getting in the best players there. Parham with 2, Milojevic with 2 and Evans chipping in there, and also with Fowler. So just those standard names that we hear from Smosh getting in there. So Lorenzi, Shepherd and Evans getting in there with the best players. So Smosh is having a little bit of a hard time with that one, but getting up last week, of course, with their big day that they had. But disappointing to see Chris Nichols not getting in the best players like he promised. So hopefully this week, mate, you can do that job. And then we got the last game of the round. We've got Walkerville versus Broadview. 5-8-38, being defeated by Broadview 10-8-68. So good work by Broadview. And once again, another game that Walkerville has let one slip. So Pearson with 6, Ryan and Ward chipping in the goal scorers for Broadview. Pearson, obviously, Ward and Rosen getting in the best players. So for Walkerville, not a big day for goal scorers or best players, but Collins, Martin and Toro, Graney, Jones and Daly getting in the best players. So for this week, we have Broadview taking on Unley at Broadview Oval. This one will be a good one, but I do think that Unley will get the job done there with their run and carry. Might be a bit of a tougher ask for Unley though, with how strong Broadview are at the body and at the footy, so we'll see how that one goes. But for me, Unley Jets. Gazer versus St Peters at Clemsig Oval. This will be Chris Nicholls' opportunity to get the best players. So I think Gazer will get the job done there, and a bit of an upset for me. Modbury versus Gepps Cross out at Modbury Sports Oval. Modbury easily. Hopefully Gepps Cross can be competitive and make up for last week, but I think it'll be too much of an ask for them. So Modbury for me. And out at Park 9, that beautiful Park 9, and hopefully there's not going to be too much rain, otherwise we'll need to get ropes and so on to pull guys out from the middle. But Prince Alfred versus Scotch, Princeys for me. I think they'll be too good. And the last one would be Smosh versus Walkerville at West Lakes. For me, I hope Smosh get up. I think they're better than where they're being placed at the minute, but for me, Smoshies. So that's Division 2 for round 3. Thanks very much for your time, and we'll catch you again next week.